The title of this video is Assholes Don't Get to Make the Rules, which may sound weird because it's actually quite common for assholes and idiots to be the ones who get to make the rules. Just look at America's Congress. What the title of the video should be is assholes and idiots should not be the ones who get to dictate and drive public discourse. But that's less catchy. Now the problem is that we're always reacting to things as a culture instead of starting things, which is not necessarily bad, but we have to make sure we're doing a lot of both at the same time. As an example, the founding fathers of America, they were starters. They sat down in a room together and they came up with a lot of ideas that they thought were good ones. Now obviously a lot of the things they came up with were based on their desire to not replicate the British government that they declared independence from, but also many of the ideas were fresh things that they just thought were good ideas and that they might work. And of course everything didn't work as intended and things had to be amended, but the fact is they got it started. They got the ball rolling. Now on the other hand, take someone like Martin Luther King Jr. His actions during the civil rights era in America were clearly reactionary. He was doing them as a direct reaction to what was going on around him. But keep in mind, the thing that King was reacting to was systematic and technically normal for his time. And most importantly, his very rights were on the line. Now, a few weeks ago, YouTuber Alex Day made a video called Big Girls in Costumes. In the video, he says that bigger girls at cons and stuff should only cosplay or dress up as characters that are big and not characters that are usually portrayed as being thin. As you might imagine, the video received a lot of backlash and he ended up unlisting it. I'm not going to go into it very much. I'll leave the link. You can watch it if you want. But it was quite obviously a joke, especially if you know anything about Alex Day and the types of videos that he makes on a regular basis. And if you watch the video, I would like to think that it would be obvious to you that he is making fun of people that say dumb shit like that and he doesn't actually believe that. But of course the vast majority of Alex's audience didn't seem to realize that it was a joke, and that's whatever. YouTube commenters have never been the pinnacle of perception on the internet, but even some of the people who did understand that it was satire still took offense to it. They said things like, you shouldn't make jokes like that because the people who actually believe stuff like that will feel validated by you and think that you're on their side. But what I'm trying to say is, fuck them. Assholes don't get to make the rules. Why should satire be censored or silenced because some people are fucking stupid? Now, fat shaming is a thing that happens and it sucks and it shouldn't happen, and it happens enough that we need to talk about it. But the majority of people are not fat shamers. So making works of satire and speaking as if people who are fat shamers are dumb and irrelevant, that's what you call starting a conversation. That's good. And calling for censorship and political correctness, that is a reactionary validation of a conversation started by assholes. And fuck them, they don't get to make the rules. I have received a lot of guff on Tumblr, for example, for my displeasure with the term rape culture. It's an intentionally provocative buzzword that people use to describe a culture whose practices tolerate or normalize rape. And again, things like rape apology, victim blaming, slut shaming, those are things that happen way more than they should, and it's something that we should keep in mind and talk about and make sure it doesn't happen. But as an active participant in culture, I resent being told that anything I do or participate in contributes to rape, because it doesn't. And it doesn't for most people. Most people aren't rapists. Most people aren't slut shamers. Most people aren't victim blamers. Most people don't tolerate rape. Most people consider rape one of the most vile things a person can do. Again, saying that we live in a rape culture is a response to a conversation started by assholes. And again, fuck them. They don't get to make the rules. They don't get to start conversations. We don't censor ourselves or diagnose our culture as flawed because of the actions of a few assholes. Or at least I don't think we should. And keep in mind, being reactionary and responding to things is not always bad, particularly in situations where your rights are on the line. Rape culture is one thing, but for example, denying a rape survivor the choice to have an abortion is not acceptable. And we should yell and scream about that as much as possible, even if it's just one asshole legislator that's trying to make that happen. But in general, we all have flaws, but most people are decent. And decent people are the ones who should be starting and pushing conversation. The opinions of assholes don't count. That's just me though. What should the next video be about? Drop a comment. I want to give a shout out to all the new subscribers. How you doing? Please press the like button. Subscribe if you like my hair. Holla.